To understand what really happens in a difficult conversation, we need to revert to a model that I showed you earlier. I don't know if you remember the Johari Window, which is an illustration of how I see myself and what others see in me. And we had the arena, that was a shared area, as you remember. We had the hidden room that I hide from you. And then it's the blind room that I don't see, but you can enlighten me because you can see it and you can tell me what you see by giving me feedback. And that is when a difficult conversation often starts. When I get feedback, being hit in the blind room, and it is a surprising feedback and I haven't heard it before, then most likely I would say that that is not true. You are wrong. And that is the first step in what we call the feedback ladder, which is another model we need to understand what is happening in difficult conversations. And the first step in the feedback ladder is denying. Because it was such a big surprise, nobody told me before, I'll tell you that this is a lie, it's not the truth. And then it's difficult to talk to me because I don't acknowledge your observation. I say wrong, and then you can't really talk to me. And we are in the midst of a difficult conversation. Like, for instance, if you told me that you never take the bill when we're out eating, you're a greedy person. And I would say, no, I'm not a greedy person, I'm a generous person. Nobody told me that before. So you're totally wrong. The next step of the feedback ladder is defending. That means I'm pushing you all the way, saying that, hey, that's none of your business anyway. And by the way, you are not that generous either. And can't remember last time you took the bill. It's always George who takes the bill, I think. So why do you bother at all? And it's none of your business anyway. This is the defending step. Then after some time, maybe you will start to explain, and that's the third step. Telling them that, well, I'm not greedy, it's not that, it's only that I was raised in such a poor family. So I never had, well, not sometimes, but not every day, we had food on the table. We were starving. And I really don't want my kids to experience the same. So that is why I'm careful with how I spend my money. It's because I care so much for my family. It's not because I'm greedy. But explaining is also a part of those three first steps that we called the defending area, where we won't really take in the feedback and where it is difficult to have a conversation going. We really need to move someone to the next level, which is understand. Well, I do now understand when you have explained me that this is to be seen as greedy. I'm not really greedy, but I understand your reaction and I understand how you see me. And that's important for me because that's the effect I have on you. And even further, going to the last step of the feedback ladder, which is change or remain. Because that's your choice. Whether you will take the feedback into account and do something about it, or if you choose to remain, but then you know what you are doing. This going into the feedback ladder when you have received surprising feedback is a very natural psychological mechanism. It's there to protect your self-image because we don't want to change that every day or twice a day just because someone gives us a surprising feedback. So it's a sound mechanism that we all go into it, and I suppose you can recognize yourself when you are in denial and defending yourself. So don't be scared about that and understand people who go into that stage as well, because it is a natural thing to do. But how do we make people move from the defensive area to the understanding area, which are the two last steps? It's not by talking. Everybody thinks that. If I talk better, clearer, explain better, talk more, but it won't help. There's only one factor that helps, and that's important. It is time. leave the message, give them a break for reflection, and do it again. Have a new conversation.